Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, listen up. People actually process the words you're saying way later. Seriously. Your physical presence, it's literally speaking volumes before you even open your mouth. Have you ever had that feeling where it just seems like people are ignoring you, or maybe they're just kind of not taking you seriously? Well, I want you to know, the problem is absolutely not your face, and it's not even what you're saying. It's your body language. Right this second, your body is constantly broadcasting signals. And honestly, it might be telling people that you're a follower rather than the powerful leader you actually are. But today, we're going to fix that. We're bringing some serious energy into completely transforming your physical presence. We want you walking into any room and instantly commanding respect. So we're going to break down an actual, real-life social interaction, literally minute by minute. From the exact second you step through the door, right down to the moment you sit down and start talking.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're looking at 6 key steps. First, the 7-second first impression. Then, movement and open posture. Third, the power of pausing. Fourth, controlling expressions and gestures. Fifth, cultivating a leader mindset. And finally, your authority blueprint.
Okay, let's dive right into this with Section 1, the 7-second first impression. We really have to understand the incredibly high-stakes reality of just how fast human beings judge each other. Let me ask you a question. Why do some people just command instant respect? I mean, you've totally seen it happen, right? Someone walks into a room, they haven't spoken a single syllable, yet they somehow take complete control of the vibe. Everyone just notices them. But then, on the flip side, you have people who walk in and they just feel completely invisible, like totally ignored. So what's the actual difference here? Well, the secret is actually a biological reflex.
7. That's the magic number. The human brain takes exactly 7 seconds to label you. Yep, just 7 seconds of seeing you, and people have already subconsciously categorized you as either a powerful leader or a weak follower. Crazy, right? And this judgment is based entirely on your initial body language. If you miss the mark in those crucial first 7 seconds, recovering your authority is, well, it's a super steep uphill battle.
Which brings us to Section 2, movement and open posture.
Because before anyone even gets a close look at your face, the very first thing they notice is how you physically move through space, how you actually enter that room. You really need to walk with what we call a purposeful stride. Look at the contrast here. A purposeful stride, that means you've got a controlled pace, broad shoulders, and your head is straight. You definitely shouldn't walk too fast, because rushing just makes you look anxious, like you're literally in a panic. But on the other hand, don't walk too slow either, because that kind of screams laziness or just a lack of direction. You want to walk in like you absolutely own the situation. When you move with real purpose, your stride is instantly signaling to everyone watching that you've got things totally under control.
And this brilliantly illustrates our next absolutely crucial physical element, front exposure. You've got to keep your front clear. Just notice the massive difference between having an open chest with your hands resting naturally versus that defensive crossing where you're folding your arms or maybe clutching your phone super tight right in front of you. When you bring your hands or your phone across your chest like that, you are literally signaling a defensive, nervous mode. It's like your brain is subconsciously trying to protect your vital organs from some imaginary threat. But when you keep that chest open and face people without any physical barriers, your dominant presence skyrockets by literally 70%.
Moving on to Section 3, the power of pausing. All right, so you've entered the room perfectly. Now, how do you actually react to everything going on around you? I want to introduce you to the slow motion effect. It's basically the conscious practice of moving, reacting, and speaking with very deliberate control and pauses. Because powerful people, well, they never look rushed. Their movements are totally unhurried. If someone calls your name across the room, do not jerk your head around frantically. Just turn slowly. Try to avoid rapid blinking or fidgeting with your hands. When you start incorporating this slow motion effect, those controlled, unhurried movements project absolute authority. It silently tells everyone that you dictate the pace of reality, not the other way around.
Next up is Section 4, controlling expressions and gestures.
So once you're actually in a conversation, this is exactly where a lot of people accidentally destroy that amazing, powerful aura they just built. Take a look at the 70-30 breakdown here. We like to call this silence power. If you want people to see you as a leader, you really should be listening about 70% of the time and speaking for only 30%. When you overtalk, you actually dilute your value. You start leaking all this nervous energy and just saying things without any real purpose. But the person who stays comfortable in silence, who observes, and who listens 70% of the time,
They make their words super dominant and incredibly impactful when they finally do choose to speak.
And when you do sit down to have that conversation, you absolutely must fill your space. Just look at the difference here. You've got the confident leader who is comfortably filling up their space on a chair, compared to the nervous follower who is practically shrinking away into the corner. I mean, if you cross your arms, pull your legs tight together, and try to take up as little room as humanly possible, people are just not going to take you seriously. So open up your posture, drape an arm over the back of the chair, really own the area. And look, this doesn't mean you're being aggressive. It just means you're sending out these highly positive, comfortable, and super approachable signals.
Now pay super close attention to this next one. The still head versus the overnodder. We are all kind of taught to nod constantly, right? Just to show the other person we're listening. But overnodding, especially doing it fast and continuously, actually makes you look incredibly nervous. It's like a dashboard bobblehead that's just desperately seeking approval and trying to please everyone. A still fixed head, on the other hand, is the ultimate sign of genuine authority. So only nod when someone says something truly profound. By keeping your head controlled, you project so much power.
So the crucial point we need to remember is captured right here in our facial stillness checklist. Keep those expressions minimal. Go for a natural, subtle smile rather than some wide, fake grin. Make sure you hold clear, constant eye contact. And above all else, do not touch your face. Seriously, touching your face, darting your eyes all over the place, or rapidly changing your expressions, it just leaks nervous energy. A completely still face commands attention and keeps your aura looking incredibly strong.
Let's move into Section 5. Cultivate a leader mindset.
Okay, so everything we've talked about up to this point has been purely physical, but it's your internal psychology that actually drives all of it. I absolutely love this quote. Act like the main character of the situation. Because honestly, you cannot have dominant body language if deep down in your head, you're feeling inferior. If you walk into a room and immediately start comparing yourself to everybody else, thinking, oh, they're richer, or they're smarter, or they're better looking, your body is literally going to shrink to match those thoughts. To truly own the situation, you genuinely have to believe you are the hero of the room. The moment you stop comparing yourself and just step right into that main character energy, your physical posture is going to naturally and effortlessly align with power.
And finally, Section 6, your authority blueprint. Let's bring all of these tactics together. You can think of this as your ultimate step-by-step protocol to make sure you command respect every single time you interact with someone. Number 1, you enter the room with a purposeful stride, controlled, confident, owning it. Number 2, you expose your front. So no phones as shields, no crossed arms, just a nice open chest. Number 3, you apply the slow motion effect, using unhurried, deliberate movements to show that you dictate the pace. And number 4, you fill your space and listen, sitting comfortably, sticking to that 70-30 rule, and keeping your head and face perfectly still.
I want to leave you with this final kind of provocative thought to chew on. How will you own the room the very next time you walk in? Because look, knowledge is really only potential power until you actually go out and apply it. So I am challenging you today. Pick just one of these techniques. Maybe it's the purposeful stride, or hey, maybe it's the 70-30 listening rule. Whatever it is, use it the very next time you step into a social setting. If you are truly committed to mastering your presence and stepping up to act like the main character, drop a comment below and let me know exactly which step you're going to apply first. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you next time.